tail end of Hurricane Ida dragging all the way up the eastern coast is pretty fucking devastating right now. And like it says here, 36 people killed in overnight flooding in New York City and New Jersey during historic flooding. Yeah, because we took a look at the devastation that happened over the weekend in Louisiana. It looked like it subsided pretty well. It looks like the infrastructure held up pretty well down there. And so far, I only seen that the 2 deaths were happening. So it just goes to show you the absolute lack of preparation on something that happens every fucking year in like New York and New Jersey. That same level of planning appears to be non-existent. But hey, there's another difference between blue states and red states, and I get it. The fucking population density is a little bit different, and comparing the population between New York and New Jersey and Louisiana and Mississippi ain't really a fair comparison. But you got 2 deaths and you got at least 36 people. We don't know until all the water subsides, and it looks like that's going to be a bitch to fucking get out of there, because a lot of places are absolutely destroyed as of right now, and we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. And what we have right now, at least 36 people were killed across New York and New Jersey, including a 2-year-old boy and his parents who drowned in the basement apartment in Queens. As the tail end of Hurricane Ida ravaged the Northeast. Storm knocked out power and flooded streets, homes, and subways, prompting the first ever flash flood emergency for the Big Apple, and leaving a trail of devastation from Maryland to New York. At least 8 people died in the city after becoming trapped in flooded basement apartments, and 1 person was found dead in the backseat of the car in Grand Central Parkway in Queens. 12 people in the 5 boroughs were reportedly killed late Thursday afternoon. Suburban Winchester County reported 3 fatalities, including Mount Kisco man found dead in floodwaters in Elmsford, who was identified as Rabbi Shmuel David Weiselman Loewe, the son of famed Jewish religious leader. Not that famous, but anyways, yeah, it still sucks. At least 23 people died in the Garden State, including a family of 3 found in the same apartment complex, as State Governor Murphy said late Thursday. Holy fuck, this is ridiculous. At least 23 people, died in New Jersey alone. The rising death toll came as a state of emergency was in effect after the historic downpour knocked out power, closed roads, and destroyed homes and businesses across the 5 boroughs. We're going to check out some of that northeastern destruction, and it really does suck because holy fuck, Yankees AA affiliate in Somerset, that's what their field looks like right now. This is what it used to look like. A little bit fucking different, hey? Like, there's no pictures like this right here that we've seen at Jesus Christ. Like, there's nothing remotely close to anything like that coming out of Louisiana right now. I get it, man. Things are different. You travel a couple thousand miles, but that is ridiculous. This might be the kind of rainout you can never make up. Ugh, somebody throw the post into the fucking ocean. Like many residential areas and local businesses, the ballpark for the Yankees minor league affiliate in New Jersey was completely underwater following the overnight storm. Overhead video shows TD Bank Ballpark in Bridgewater Township, home of the Yankees AA affiliate, the Somerset Patriots, completely flooded the playing field into the adjacent parking lot and down the street, down the road, and fucking Christ, dude. This is what can happen from a Category 1 tropical storm. Fuck, when you're not properly set up for it. The ballpark flooded like much of the surrounded area. We are in the process of evaluating to what extent the damage has been caused, the Patriots president and general manager Patrick McVeary said in a statement. In the meantime, we are thinking about all the neighbors dealing with flooding in their homes and businesses and hope everybody is safe. So I guess he realizes that he has flood insurance, maybe? I don't know, that's not very common. Yankees prospect Isaiah Gillum tweeted about the flooding, noting just how bad the damage is. We lost everything, he tweeted. Prayers go out to everyone in the city. Yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. Holy shit, dude. Not as bad as a fucking explosion in New Jersey. We're just gonna watch this because it's cut from a ring camera from across the street, and as you can see here, all of a sudden, and box truck going by, and a fucking boom, dude. Like, that's the holy fuck. Did anybody hear any reports of fucking buildings blowing up in Louisiana? Jesus, dude. Holy. Anyways, shocking video shows a Momentum New Jersey home was leveled in a massive fiery blast early Thursday morning, hours after it was evacuated due to severe flooding, authorities said. The home on the River Road in Rahway was reduced to rubble with a massive explosion shortly after 5:45 a.m. A black and white surveillance footage released by police shows a delivery truck and a sedan driving by the home when it burst into flames, and we've seen that already. It was spectacular. Terrible and tragic, but spectacular. Residents of the home had been evacuated around 1 a.m. due to the heavy flooding caused by the remnants of Hurricane Ida. So everything was already wet and destroyed, and then they just tried to get ahead of it and then tried to dry it out with an explosion. No, I know it's not that funny, but holy fuck. Like, hey, you know what? The house next to him doesn't look like it's that bad, though. One motorist who was driving past the home at the time suffered minor injuries. Yes, because they had the fucking front bay window just come into their place. No other injuries were reported. Holy fuck. Like, look at that blast radius. What did they think might have happened? Like, what the fuck? From Wednesday night into Thursday morning, 72 Rahway residents were evacuated and transported to Roosevelt Elementary School for temporary shelter, police said. A bridge also partially collapsed on Irving Street between Central and Seminary Avenues, authorities said. 4 people who were clinging to a tree in rushing floodwaters in Irving Street were also rescued, like they were applying the cat strategy to getting out of the floodwaters. Like, I don't think that would terribly work, but hey, at least they got out of there. That was fucking wild, though. That was a better explosion than that exploding ring death match. But yeah, this is going to be the first big emergency that new governor, Kathy Hochul, is going to have to deal with. And it looks like she's going about it the right way. Yeah, just as you'd expected. New boss, same as the old boss. New York City Flood Plan includes alert for basement dwellers. Not until 2023. Cool. Best luck to everybody next year. City officials were well aware of the death traps that basement apartments would become in the event of a flash flood emergency, like the one that drowned at least 8 New Yorkers living below grade Wednesday night. Grade referring to the slope and the flood level, not necessarily degrading the places that they live. Yet they did nothing to warn them. Mayor Bill de Blasio's Storm Water Resilience Plan, released in May, includes an initiative that would develop notifications for basement dwellings to keep residents out of harm's way. Listen, whenever there's a fucking Amber Alert or something like that in the near vicinity, everybody gets a push notification on their phone. Why wouldn't a flash flood situation be any different? You can get a hold of those mechanisms like that. Plan required the Office of Emergency Management to pre-draft messaging regarding potential dangers for residents living in basement dwellings to be used for outreach and notification in advance of forecasted extreme rain events. Completion date 2023. How fucking hard is it to just, I don't know, draw up a plan? You knew that the fucking hurricane was coming. You knew that the season was going to be here, and the fact that something like this wasn't already on the books beforehand just shows the absolute dereliction of responsibility that previously Cuomo would have had. And then also Bill de Blasio, who's been in office for 7 fucking years at this point. They have not been looking after. Just all about diversity, right? There are multiple initiatives. All of that are very pressing and important, and they're currently underway. But what are you doing right now, Mitch Schwartz? City's Department of Environmental Protection is well aware of the pervasive flooding problems. Where's your mask, lady? Where's your mask? DEP's Bureau of Water and Sewer Operations is responsible for maintaining NYC sewer networks in good working order and addressing problems as they arise. I understand flash floods are a certain thing, but did you see the fucking picture here? Like, we can just let this play for a minute. Like, look at this fucking flood water, okay? Like I get it, there's a lot of water, but there's a lot of shit just fucking flying and flopping out everywhere. So maybe a little bit less identity politics, maybe a little bit more working on actual infrastructure, not human infrastructure, okay? Words are important. You seen it earlier today when we were talking about Jen Psaki. All of a sudden she becomes a TERF. Well, perhaps you guys should start taking back the idea of infrastructure. You have the purse strings after all. Start cleaning this stuff up so we can start playing ball again, shall we? I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.